Hi, I'm Liv and welcome back to the Book Nook. Hey guys, so it is the 7th day of Vlogmas and I thought what I would do today is a little roundup of the first week of Vlogmas. On the first week of Vlogmas, apparently I'm doing this a lot more than I intended to. And also include my first week of December haul, because we all knew that was coming, didn't we? So I guess the first thing I really want to say is a huge thank you to everyone for watching Vlogmas so far, and an even bigger thank you because at the time of recording I'm now up to 533 subscribers, which is just, you guys. So that's really, really great and thank you so much. And a huge thank you to Dave over at Wild Reads for a shout on his channel. He recently did the Booktubers tag, I think that's what it's called. I know it's got booktube in it like twice, which is essentially a video answering questions about like your favourite booktubers and who would you want to have lunch with and things like that. And I'm toying with maybe doing that one at some point, but I'm not sure. I get really nervous talking about other booktubers because I don't know whether you guys have this from watching, but you feel like you know people and then you have to remind yourself, like, I've never met these people. So I think I just get really nervous when I'm talking about other booktubers. But it's a really great video, especially if you're looking for recommendations of other channels to watch, because Dave talks about some of the bigger names, some of bigger British booktuber names, and then also some that are slightly more under the radar. So check that out. I will link that one down below. And a huge thank you to Dave. And I shout out right back at you. But yes, go and check out Dave's channel. So yeah, it's just been really nice chatting with you guys in the comments with all the Vlogmas ones, and yeah, they've not all turned out exactly how I've intended to, but I think that's just the nature of the beast of doing something for every day. Things don't always turn out quite how you'd like in life. The other thing I wanted to mention is that Lauren over at Lauren on the Books has announced that the Winter Cozy Reading Night will be taking place on the evening of the 20th of December, which is a Wednesday, and I'm really chuffed because I've got the day off after that, so although I will be like rushing home from work and getting myself ready for Cozy Reading Night, it means that actually I could probably do maybe like an 8 till 11 myself and not have to worry about getting up for work the next day, so that's nice. So I'll be doing my Cozy Reading Night, Winter Cozy Reading Night TBR some point later next week before Cozy Reading Night, obviously. Otherwise it would be pointless. So yeah, really excited for that. So I'm going to go through the books that I've hauled so far in December this week. So the first ones I'm going to go through are ones that I've been sent by publishers. So the first one is one sent to me by Faber that I've seen quite a bit about on Twitter mainly. So far I've not seen too much about it on BookTube, but that may have just been because my BookTube watching has taken a nosedive recently, but I've seen about it on Twitter, and that is, oh, wrong side, Lullaby by Leila Slimani. And this, from what I can gather, is a story about a French-Moroccan couple who essentially hire a nanny and then things go south? So I'm really intrigued by this one. It's not necessarily the kind of story that I would always go for, but I've heard such good things about the actual writing that I'm definitely going to give this one a go. The next one I've been sent is another one from Penguin Random House that I've heard a lot of chatter about, and it's a memoir called Educated by Tara Westover. Sorry, I can't talk apparently. And this is a book about Tara, because it's a memoir. And Tara spent her life growing up in Idaho, rural Idaho, with quite a sort of, from what I can gather, a sort of like end of the world kind of family and brought up that way. And she didn't set foot in a classroom until she was 17, something like that. And now she has a PhD from Cambridge. So it's a sort of tale of somebody coming from, you know, this totally isolated sort of childhood, and then getting to Cambridge. Again, initially it wasn't one that I was necessarily sort of too tempted by, but I think having read things like My Absolute Darling and the beginning, the first half of Elmet as well, I've got a taste for this kind of tale of, you know, what can happen when you're so isolated and how that changes your outlook on the world. And I just think it would be really interesting to read a real life account of that and how she moved from that into, you know, academia and things like that. So really, really intrigued by this one, Educated by Tara Westover. The last one that I was sent this week so far is the one that I'm probably most excited about, and it's one that I requested from Scott Pack over at Lightning Books. He tweeted about a book that he'd read a little while ago. He picked up while he was in Australia, and he absolutely fell in love with it and was desperately trying to publish it in the UK with his publishers at Lightning. So he hadn't really spoken about it, but now he was confirming that it is going to be published by Lightning in the UK, so he could talk about it. And it's Their Brilliant Careers: The Fantastic Lives of 16 Extraordinary Australian Writers by Ryan O'Neill. But the fascinating thing about this one is that it is an account of 16 writers, Australian writers, but they are entirely fictionalised. So it just sounds absolutely staggering, because Ryan O'Neill has sort of set up this literary canon and a literary history with sort of references to things, and it doesn't exist. And it just sounds like absolutely my kind of thing, and I cannot wait to get stuck into this one. So huge thanks to Scott. When I saw he was tweeting about this and saying what the book was about, I was like, oh wow, could I please have a copy, please? And he said yes, so thank you very much. Why do I talk like that occasionally? So really excited to dig into this one. So huge thanks to Scott Pack over at Lightning Books, and this one will be coming out April next year, so look out for this one next year. So those are the ones I've been sent by publishers, just as a little interlude before I go into the ones that I've bought. I have also got a Star Wars Lego Advent Calendar this year, which I've been thoroughly enjoying, and if you follow me on Instagram you will have seen me opening each day's ones. Some of them have been a bit like, they've been fun to put together, but I've been like, what is this? Whereas today... That would have been so much smoother if it had auto-focused on him. Come on. Stormtrooper! So yeah, just thought I'd show you him. He's now going to sit up there. So, on to the books that I have bought this week. The first one that I bought, because I couldn't not, and I'm a sucker, is the gorgeous Book of the Year edition of Philip Pullman's The Book of Dust. So Waterstones announced this as their Book of the Year on the 30th of November, which I thought was just weird. I don't know why we didn't go for the 1st of December, but there we go. I'm not in charge of these decisions, obviously. So the Book of the Year edition of the Book of Dust is this gorgeous cloth-bound hardback. You've got a slightly different gold foil quote down the side, down the spine, than is on the spine underneath the dust jacket on the original cover. And it's got gorgeous end papers, and the really cute thing is that there are 6 different demons on the end papers. So you've got bear, rabbit, / hare, snake, lynx, owl, and another one, golden monkey. And there is also apparently one raven out there somewhere, which of course is Philip Pullman's demon. So if you find a raven, like, you've got the only one. So I picked up myself a copy of the Book of the Year, Book of Dust, and I went for the bear. Because when I did the quiz that came out from the publishers around the time of the release of the Book of Dust, I was a bear, and I think he's really cute, and you can't see him very well. There he is. Bear. My microphone just fell off. Squeeze. Next up, I bought myself a little bit of a treat. Again, you guys know how much I love typography and design and things like that, even though I don't really know anything properly about it, but I got myself a copy of The Field Guide to Typography, Typefaces in the Urban Landscape by Peter Dawson. It's this gorgeous Thames and Hudson thick job here, and it is just a look at gorgeous fonts, and it's so pretty. It's so pretty. So that was a little treat. Then again, I was tidying up the poetry section one day, and oops, there it is. I got myself a copy of Hera Lindsay Bird's collection. Not someone I've heard of before, not a collection I've heard of before. It's one of these weird ones that's like, it's like a more square. I'm not sure how I feel about that. But hey, it made it stand out on the shelf, didn't it? So it looks like quite a modern collection, and it looks like my kind of jam. And I have realised, okay, looking at my kind of books that I've read this year for sort of prepping for a video, I have only read like 2 poetry collections this year, which is awful. Like, for me, for myself, like, if you don't read poetry, fine, that's, you know, that's your own thing, but that's, for me, that's really bad. So I've only read Rupi Kaur's Milk and Honey and Luke Cain's Kennard. No. Luke Kennard's Cain. No, it was wrong when it was coming out of my mouth. Luke Kennard's Cain. Those are the only 2 I've read. I have read bits of other poetry collections. You know, I've been reading bits of the Penguin Modern Poets collection, but I haven't read another collection this year, and that's really awful. So there's a New Year's resolution I can make. Then I picked up a copy of a book that I've been toying with for a while, meant to buy for a little while, and I was weak and bought it, and that is The History of Love. Is that what it is? Yeah, The History of Love. Sorry, I get confused by the cover. The History of Love by Nicole Krauss. And it's about a girl who's trying to cure her mother's loneliness, and she thinks it's in a book that she's translating, so she tries to track down the author, and then she sort of meets the author, and it sort of goes on from there. And yeah, really intrigued by this one. I do like a nice little kind of pocket-sized book, so I do quite like these Penguin Essential sizes, and yeah, been meaning to buy this one for a little while, so I'm going to give it a go. Then the last book I have bought myself so far is one that I never in a million years thought I would be buying, but that is The Magic of the Christmas Chronicles. So I picked up myself a copy of Eat by Nigel Slater. I'm a changed woman. What can I say? I mean, I haven't done much cooking yet, other than hot chocolates. I've not really done any cooking yet, but I want to cook more, and I've just fallen a little bit in love with Nigel Slater and with his writing, and already flicking through it. I mean, literally, I just picked this book up earlier just to have a little flick through it, and I've already put some post-its in for some recipes because they just sound amazing. Admittedly, they're all puddings so far that I've post-ited. But when there's a recipe for Irish coffee trifle, that's sponge fingers, Bailey's Irish cream, espresso coffee, hazelnuts, double cream, mascarpone, vanilla and dark chocolate, can you blame me? Look at the picture of it. Don't you just want that in your mouth right now? Right now. So yeah, and gorgeously produced Nigel Slater's cookbooks, I have to say. Big, big fan. So yeah, I'm a changed woman, buying cookbooks, buying Nigel Slater cookbooks. But I've got a bit of a food crush on him, I'm not gonna lie. So, yes, that is what I have bought so far in December. Yeah. What have you guys been up to book buying wise? Have you resisted? Are you doing the sensible thing and not buying books in December and just saying to people, this is what I'd like for Christmas? Because I clearly ain't. So, that's it for today's Vlogmas video. Yeah, a bit of a roundup one. Just this one. I just not in the right headspace to do anything more structured, so enjoy. So coming up next week, I'm going to be going Christmas tree shopping, I should say, on Sunday, and I'm so excited! I have never had a real Christmas tree, as I have mentioned previously, and I'm so excited for the smells and the textures and the dropping needles, and I'm just so excited! So yeah, we're going to go Christmas tree shopping on Sunday, and I'm also going to start planning Christmas food things because I've been reading Nigel Slater. Also coming up in the next week, and when I say week, I'm doing 7 days, that's why I've probably confused myself and possibly some of you guys by doing this like first week wrap up on a Thursday, but it's because it's, you know, the first 7 days. But yeah, coming up in the next 7 days, I will be doing my Be Kind to Your Retailers This Christmas video. You know, I work in a shop that gets very busy over Christmas, so I'm just going to do a little video about being kind to people in shops over Christmas. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that one. Oh, and also I will try and record before Christmas for one of the Vlogmas videos. I will do a Q&A video, I think. Sod it, why not? So if there are any questions you want me to answer that I haven't sort of answered over the course of being on BookTube, or even if I have and you just like me to elaborate, anything you want to know about me in general, I don't know, ask me things. Ask and I shall answer, maybe, if it's not rude. I'm going to do a Q&A video at some point in the next week or so for Vlogmas, so post some questions down in that bit, down in that bit below, the below thing, the comments, and I will answer what I can when I do that one later on in the week. So thanks very much for watching this one, guys. Have you bought any of the books that I've bought? Are you tempted by any of the books that I've bought? What have you bought? Share with me. Again, huge thank you to everybody for subscribing, all 533 of you. It was coming out as 400, so I adapted badly. So yeah, huge thank you. Keep watching and sharing and subscribing. I don't know. Merry Vlogmas. You will see me tomorrow. Tomorrow is only a day away. Sorry.